So yesterday was the MCS, which for those of you that don't know is the Meta Championship Series, which is basically the biggest tournament series for Duel Links, run by this guy.
YouTube!
There is over $1,400 worth of prize money involved, and the players that compete in this event are generally considered the best of the best. Worlds players, KC Cup winners, you name it. So as you all know, recently there was a ban list announced, and it will come into effect within a few days. Now this tournament series abides by the upcoming ban list early. So once this tournament has concluded, we can generally get a good understanding of how much this ban list will leave an impact. Now, let's take a look at the decks that got hit. Shiranui, Dark Magician, and Crystron. Shiranui and Crystron were both played in the event, but with very limited success, with only one Shiranui deck actually making it into top 32, and no signs of life from the Crystron. And as for Dark Magician, you would have more chance of spotting hair on Odeon's head than spotting them in a competitive event. Wait a minute. Why do I feel like I'm missing something here? Didn't the ban list hit something else extremely hard? Nah, it couldn't possibly have. There's no way a ban list could have attempted to butcher an archetype only for then be the third most picked deck in the whole event, with it taking up over a quarter of the top 32 placings and over a third of the top 8 with a mirror match grand final. That would be ridiculous, right? Alright, enough of the sarcasm. It's pretty obvious that Alistair the Infuriating and Invoked Purgaturd are once again here to stay. And I'm going to be completely honest here, enough is enough. This is actually getting ridiculous. To be fair, it doesn't help that Konami decided to release an entire fire-based character with an entire fire-based box, after conveniently forgetting to put the biggest offender in fire decks onto the ban list in any shape or form. Speaking of the fire-based character, let's take a look at one of the dumbest oversights I've seen from Konami in a while. At least, I hope it was an oversight and wasn't intentional. Axel Brody's skill Fire Reload. Now you guys may recognise this skill from the larval video I made a few days ago, where I used the skill to help boost the power of a long dead larval archetype, which was pretty cool and you should totally go watch that video if you haven't already. Shameless plug. But let's take a look at what this skill actually does. Can be used if you only have fire pyro type monsters in hand. Return all cards in hand back into the deck and shuffle it, then draw the same number of cards. So basically it's just a much more flexible restart that can be used whenever, or a pre-nerf switcheroo, but for only pyro fire type monsters. Huh. What was it that got switcheroo nerfed again? More specifically, what card was being abused to make switcheroo so powerful? Yeah, not really sure how Konami nukes one skill for being too broken with specifically one fire pyro type monster, and then proceeds to create a complete replica of the skill, but aims it at fire pyro type monsters. All that aside though, as that was more of a tangent, let's return to the actual problem here. Invoked. As that wasn't the only kind of Invoked deck played in the event. Now I'm going to preface this, so bear with me a little as I'm going to have to go on another little tangent here. Invoked is not an engine. Let me explain. Lightsworn is something that can be used as an engine, as it can be used to set up your graveyard for other decks such as Witchcrafter, Dark Lord, Monarchs, etc. Same goes for something like Neos Fusion, as it can be used to set up your grave for synergy with the rest of the deck, such as when it was used with Larval or Dark Cavalry. You generally wouldn't ever activate Neos Fusion, then just beat your opponent to death with Brave Neos. It isn't how you really won games. It certainly helped and would definitely give you a bit more damage with an extra big boy on board, but something else had to occur, as Brave Neos alone isn't a win condition. Invoked is the complete opposite. You never use Invoked to set up your deck. In fact, again, it's the complete opposite. Your deck is always built to set up your Invoked package. You don't use engines to set up engines. That's dumb. For example, the current top tier Invoked decks are Hero and Royd. Brave Neos is used as an engine to set up Purgatrio with Shell. Royd in a similar way will set up Purgatrio with Mega Royd City, destroying to search Rescue Royd. Invoked is just a portable win condition, that's all. Another example would be the old Element Saber lists. You never used any of the Element Lords in that deck, as they were probably intended. You just used Palace to search for any Element Saber or send any Element Saber to the grave to set up for Purgatrio or Cock. Now the reason I think it's important to bring this up is because unlike decks where you would use engines like Lightsworn or Neos absolutely everywhere, no matter what variant you are playing of Invoked, it will always feel the same. It'll just be Alistair plus insert fire monster here, whichever is most convenient at the time, OTK your opponent. So in my opinion, the meta will never truly feel new until Invoked is gone. No matter how many different variants of Invoked there are, you will always end up dying in the same fashion to a combo that always looks basically the exact same. Alistair, Fire Monster, Purgatrio, dead. My main concern is that Purgatrio will never actually disappear. That power creep will not actually be a plausible out, without some extreme jump. I'm worried that in a year's time when Triff Gaming takes over Duel Links, they will still be seeing Alistair running rampant, as it can just be run anywhere, as a win condition or at least an alternative win condition, as long as fire monsters still exist in the game. Now I don't really know why I'm actually making this video to be honest, as normally when I make these ranty style videos over problems within the game, it's to try and bring light to the problems, then try to offer solutions for the issues. But in this case, I don't really have a real solution. I think this might actually be the biggest hole Konami have ever dug for themselves, where there isn't really a clear solution, or at least not one they can implement easily. The most common ban list suggestion I see, and something I predicted to happen on the previous ban list, was Purgatrio to 3. Now this made sense to me as they were either going to hit Purgatrio or Invocation. Now they've hit Invocation, so now it looks like they might just have to hit both. And as much as that sounds awesome to me, as I hate the archetype with a burning passion, if you somehow haven't already gathered that already, but this is 3 separate ultra rares from the same archetype we're talking about here. Forcing you to only play one of each for a deck that was this expensive to try and make in the first place might actually be too much. I myself am all for it. I couldn't give half a fuck if they nerf ultra rare cards for the sake of this game's health. But Konami have already set this kind of expectation with ultra rares from boxes, and that is, they don't want to touch them too heavily. So from a business standpoint, I assume putting 3 ultra rare cards on the same ban list from the same archetype won't only lose them a lot of money through sales, but also make a lot of people rather salty. Hell, just look at the dislike bar on this video and you'll probably see how many people are just annoyed at the fact I'm just shit talking the deck. Whilst you're there, feel free to click the like button, or even subscribe. So in conclusion, basically, Konami have really boned themselves this time, with a problem I don't really see an easy solution to, but it's a problem they will probably need to address nonetheless, and hopefully soon, not another 6 months or so before another ban list. So yeah, that's my take on the upcoming meta. Let me know what you guys think, or if you have any other kind of solutions of your own for this particular issue, as I honestly have no idea how Konami want to bite the bullet on this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the rant, and I hope to see you in the next video. Oh, by the way, it's probably my birthday as you are watching this video right now, and there's a good chance I'm currently live on Twitch, link at the top of the description, hosting some 100-player point battles for everyone to join. So feel free to stop by, I'll be live in about 2.5 hours from when I post this video. Hope to see you guys there. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.